It seems like no matter how hard you work, the end of the month brings that same old familiar feeling: stress. You look at your paycheck, you look at your bills, and you wonder where it all went. So many folks are running on a financial treadmill, working tirelessly but never getting ahead. You might even be earning a good income, maybe even 6 figures, but you still feel broke, frustrated, trapped. It's a heavy weight to carry. This constant worry about money. It can strain your marriage, affect your health, and steal your joy. You see others flashing their new cars and fancy vacations on social media, and you can't help but ask, what am I doing wrong? It's a question that keeps millions of people up at night, feeling like they're just one emergency away from disaster. The truth is, most of us were never taught how to handle money properly. We were taught how to earn it, sure, but not how to manage it, grow it, or find peace with it. We chase after more money thinking it's the solution, but more money just seems to lead to more problems if you don't have a solid plan. People are drowning in credit card debt, student loans, and car payments, all while trying to keep up with a lifestyle they can't truly afford. This cycle of earning and spending without a clear purpose is exhausting, and it leaves people feeling empty and defeated. But what if I told you there's a better way? What if the blueprint for financial peace wasn't created by some modern-day guru or a complicated investment scheme, but was laid out thousands of years ago? The Bible, a book many people turn to for spiritual guidance, also contains some of the most profound and practical financial advice you will ever find. These are timeless, rock-solid principles that have guided people toward financial stability and freedom for centuries. By learning and applying these 7 simple yet powerful rules, you can finally get off that treadmill and start walking toward a brighter financial future. The very first rule, the foundation for everything else, is this: God owns it all. Your paycheck, your house, your car, the money in your savings account, it's not really yours. You're a manager or a steward. When you switch your thinking from "this is my money" to "I am managing God's money," your decisions start to change. You become more grateful for what you have and more responsible with how you use it. The second rule is about giving back the first part, and it's called tithing. The Bible teaches us to give the first 10% of our income back to God through our local church. It's a simple act of trust and priority. For example, if you earn $1,000, you set aside $100 for the tithe. This act of obedience demonstrates that money doesn't have control over you and opens the door for blessings on the other 90%. The third rule is a big one: avoid debt like the plague. The Bible says the borrower is slave to the lender. When you're buried in credit card bills and loans, your money isn't yours anymore. It belongs to the bank. Debt is a thief that steals your future and your peace of mind. A real-life example is choosing to save up and pay cash for a used car instead of taking out a 5-year loan for a brand new one. You might not have the flashiest car on the block, but you'll sleep better at night knowing you own it outright and aren't sending your hard-earned money to a lender every month. Finally, the fourth rule is to save and invest for the future. The Bible calls a person who spends everything they get a fool. Wise people prepare for what's ahead. This doesn't have to be complicated. It starts with a simple habit: paying yourself first. Even if it's just $50, you are building a habit of planning for the future, whether that's for an emergency, a down payment on a house, or your retirement. The fifth principle might sound counterintuitive, but it's one of the most powerful: be generous. The Bible teaches that when you give, you will receive. This isn't about giving to get. It's about developing a spirit of generosity because you know you are blessed. Think of it like a farmer planting seeds. A farmer doesn't hoard all their seeds. They plant them in the ground, trusting they will grow into a much larger harvest. Example: buying groceries for a neighbor who just lost their job. Example: leaving an unexpectedly large tip for a waiter who gave you great service. It's about opening your hands and letting resources flow through you, not just to you. Next up, the sixth rule: work hard, but don't worship your work. God designed us to work. The Bible celebrates diligence and excellence. Whatever your job is, from the boardroom to the construction site, do it with all your heart, as if for the Lord. No cutting corners, no slacking off, no complaining. Example: an employee who consistently shows up on time, finishes tasks with excellence, and keeps a positive attitude even when the boss isn't looking. But don't fall for hustle culture that leads to burnout and broken families. Work diligently, but also know when to rest and trust God. 7th rule, seek wisdom above wealth. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, not money itself. Chasing money above all else leads to foolish, destructive decisions. Chasing God's wisdom teaches you how to handle money correctly. Wisdom is the instruction manual. Solomon asked for wisdom, not riches. Because he asked right, God gave him wisdom and riches. Example, read a book on personal finance. Example, listen to sound advice before a major financial decision. Don't impulsively buy the latest hot stock. These 3 principles create a powerful cycle: generosity, hard work, wisdom. Designed not to make you worldly rich, but rich in purpose and impact. Use your work and your resources to reflect a heart aligned with God. Now let's bring this all home. After hearing these 7 rules, God owns it all: tithe, avoid debt, save and invest, be generous, work hard, seek wisdom. It might feel a little overwhelming. You might be thinking about the mountain of debt you're in, or the fact that you haven't saved a dime. Don't let that discourage you. The journey to financial peace doesn't happen overnight. It starts with one small, faithful step. You don't have to fix everything at once. Just start today. Start somewhere. Maybe your first step is creating a budget for the very first time. Or maybe it's setting up that small automatic transfer to your savings account. The goal here isn't to become a millionaire by next year. The get-rich-quick mindset is what gets people into trouble in the first place. The real goal is to live a blessed and peaceful life, free from the crushing weight of money stress. It's about being able to sleep at night because you have an emergency fund. It's about being able to provide for your family and leave a legacy of wisdom and stability, not a legacy of bills and financial chaos. This is what it means to build wealth God's way. Following these biblical money rules is really a matter of the heart. Money is just a tool, but how you handle that tool reveals what you truly value. Will you be a slave to your debt, or will you be a good steward? Will you be wasteful, or will you be wise and prepared for the future? Will you be greedy, clinging tightly to every dollar, or will you be generous? God doesn't want you to be broke and stressed, but He also doesn't want money to become the idol you worship. So start small and be faithful. Apply these 7 principles as a guide to transform your relationship with money. When you follow the Bible's blueprint, you don't just make money, you make a lasting impact.